A yes person, and you are a yes person at all times. You see, you allow people into every area of your life. You do not create the necessary boundaries and say, no, you've come as far as you can go. You have no sacred place. Ask yourself a couple of very rudimentary and consequential questions. The first one you need to ask yourself is, why am I always aiming to please people? Hello. Welcome once again to another video. I did a last video on the signs to tell if you are a people pleaser or not. And so this is a follow-up to that video. And today we're going to be talking about the 6 steps that you can take to break the nice girl, nice guy syndrome, aka people pleaser. Now, the first thing that you need to get about doing is you need to set up boundaries, and you need to use your nose more often. Set up boundaries and use your nose more often. Now, you need to overcome the urge to yield to your default response whenever someone needs a favor from you, and that response is usually yes. You are a yes person, and you are a yes person at all times, even in situations that are not serving you. You need to overcome the urge to go out of your way and take time and energy and resources, your limited resources. You need to overcome the urge to go out of your way to allow people into sacred spaces that should be just for you, where you go to rejuvenate yourself, to refresh yourself, to revitalize yourself, to get a reboot in your energy and secure your mental space. You see, you allow people into every area of your life. You do not create the necessary boundaries and say, no, you've come as far as you can go. You have no sacred place. You have no quiet place. You have no me space, no me time. You need to also create the boundaries that are meant to, those boundaries are meant to keep you safe and keep your mental health in check. And when people do cross those lines that you were trying to establish, you need to let them know that there will be consequences. And at the right time and at the right place, you need to make sure that they are served those consequences if they go ahead and disrespect your boundaries. The second thing that you need to do, you need to go on a self-discovery journey. A lot of us don't even know who we are. We don't know what we like. We don't know what our needs are. We don't know what our priorities are. We don't know what excites us. We don't know what makes us sad. We live off of the mirror that somebody else has put in front of us. We are letting our lives and our emotional state, our emotional flow and current be dictated by somebody else. So you need to go on a self-discovery journey to figure out, is this for me or is this not going to work out for me? Okay, you need to ask yourself a couple of very rudimentary and consequential questions. The first one you need to ask yourself is, why am I always aiming to please people? Could it be because of a need to be liked?
What made you become a people pleaser? You wired that way, or is that a trauma response?
For sure, trauma response. I had to go all the way back to where it started, and it started in my household. And it's rooted in wanting to be liked and not ruffling feathers and making sure that making everybody happy. Like, you like me.
Yeah.
Or could it be because you want to fit in so badly, so you want to be part of a tribe, so much so that you would manipulate other people's perception of you because you are not living an authentic, you're coming up as fake. You're not living your authentic self.
Manipulate belonging. Cannot tell if I am doing it because I want people to like me or if I am so desperate for a sense of belonging that I manipulate myself or the situation in order to have a sense of belonging.
Wow.
But you want to behave like other people in that group just so you can fit in, so you are living a lie. So the key benefits of a self-discovery journey is to help you identify your true self and figure out what your interests are, what your passions are, who you are on the core and on the inside of you. The third thing I need for you to do is I need you to get comfortable with conflict. I need to get comfortable with conflict. Princess Diana said something very remarkable. She said, you cannot comfort the afflicted without afflicting the comfortable. Conflict is that ripple in the waters, those waves that you create that makes things uneasy. If conflict makes your stomach churl or curl, you need to put your hands on that stomach and say, this is necessary for the change that I want to achieve. This is a necessary step that I need to take to create the comfortable space that I need to build for myself. Remember, you have to afflict the comfortable to bring comfort to the afflicted. If your internals are afflicted because you're trying to make other people, you're trying to create comfortable space with other people to your own detriment, then it might be time for you to what? To afflict the comfortable, to create tension, to disrupt the peace. Why do you need to keep the peace? This peace that you are trying to maintain, is it for your own good or is it for other people's good?
I was taught
that keeping quiet kept the peace until I realized, whose peace is it keeping? The offender's at peace. The people who don't want to deal with it at peace. And I, in this little body, am holding all of the war. So I don't want to hold it anymore.
It's time to change the status quo. It's time to shift. If you keep walking around on eggshells when you're around other people because you want to keep the peace, then you're going to create turmoil on the inside of you. If you're constantly doing all that it takes to put a smile on other people's faces, but deep down on the inside of you, there is a feeling of resentment, it might be time to disturb that peace. Conflict presents an opportunity for change, for a reset, for a reorganization, for a re-strategization, to create a shift from how things used to be to the way things ought to be. Conflict creates an avenue to say to yourself and to say to others, things have got to change. You need to accept that it is okay not to be liked, and you need to prepare yourself for rejection. Remember, this old you benefited a lot of other people except you. You are the one at the short end of this interaction. When you start putting your needs, priorities in front of the line and not at the back, as it used to be in the past, there will be a lot of backlash. There'll be a lot of disruption in the status quo. People will say and do things to get you to fall back in line. Because, of course, everybody's living off of self-interest. So if this new you will certainly create a ripple in the waters, that will create a disruption, an imbalance, a backlash. But the true, authentic you is worth fighting for. And you need to fight hard. You need to fight hard. I know for a fact that people will say and do whatever it will take to manipulate you, to make you capitulate and self-sabotage. Your liberation is worth fighting for. After the storm, there will come peace. So ride that storm and put your foot down and speak up and speak out for yourself. Number 5, you need to practice speaking life and love to yourself daily. Practice speaking life and love to yourself daily. Death and life lies in the power of the tongue and those that live in it. So you need to use your tongue to recreate the current, the atmosphere that is meant to build you up. Start saying to yourself, I matter. My needs matter. I am not yielding to my feelings. I deserve the love that I keep giving away. I'm worthy of investing my energy, my time, my resources into myself. I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of peace. I'm worthy of contentment. I'm worthy to say no to others. The 6, you need to be committed to consistent progress. This change is not going to come easy, but it's necessary. Now, how do you go from yes, 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 to where you should be, where you are front and center and you are the priority? Now, the first way to start responding whenever somebody approaches you with a request, one thing that you need to do to go from spontaneous response where it's a yes, you go from spontaneous response to delayed response where you are, let me get back to you on that request. Give me some time, I'll get back to you. That gives you a moment to breathe, think about what you need to do, whether it's a yes or whether it's a no. And if you decide that it's a no, you get to the third stage where you have a sandwich response. A sandwich response is, you're going to say no, but you need to butter up that no. No, I cannot at this time. Then because I have previous engagement, because I just gave out what I have to somebody else and I do not have anything at the moment. Now that is a sandwich response. Okay, then you go from a sandwich response to an assertive response. So the sandwich response is a no, but it's a no with an excuse. We're trying to get to a point in our lives where we are comfortable, where we're comfortable in saying no without giving any excuse. So that is the 4th stage, which is an assertive response. This is when you're comfortable saying no to people without necessarily buttering it up or sandwiching it with an excuse. So you go from a spontaneous response to delayed response, so a sandwich response to an assertive response where you say no and you're very comfortable with your no. Go forth and be bad.